Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're doing my Premier League Game Week 17 predictions. It's the Boxing Day ones, Boxing Day, Tuesday, and there's one game on Wednesday to go through as well. It's going to be a massive video. Should we get into the first game, which is Brentford versus Tottenham? It's the 12:30 kickoff. It's 4th v 10th in the table. It's absolutely massive. Tottenham 29 points to Brentford's 19. Tottenham have teams on their back pushing for the top 4. Tottenham in the last few games, they've had a few friendlies, so it's hard to really see. 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Last Premier League game that it was a 4-3 win over Leeds United. For Brentford, it was a 2-1 win over Manchester City. Looking at the tables, 4th v 10th, looking at the head-to-heads, they've only played 5 times in these two teams. In their history, they've only played 5 times, and it's gone all Tottenham. Tottenham 3 wins and 2 draws. Brentford have not beaten Tottenham. Last season was the last time they played. It was a 0-0 draw on the 23rd of April. Then in 2021, it was a 2-0 win for Tottenham. It's away from home. I'm going to back the Tottenham here. I just feel like they have enough quality. I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Tottenham. A massive win. I can just see them, playing well. I just see them getting the result. And I think Kane could try and shush all the haters from the World Cup. But yeah. Moving on to the next game, which is Crystal Palace versus Fulham. The game at 3 o'clock. It's Fulham looking decent in the Premier League at the moment. It's 9th v 11th. Fulham are looking really good, to be fair to them. They've shown quality about their name. 9th, of course, in the form. Their last game I think was against West Ham. It was their definitely last game, but I think it was a league match possibly. So yeah, Fulham have looked alright. I think it was friendly actually, but it's interesting because Fulham 2 draws, 2 losses and a win in the last 5. For Crystal Palace, 2 draws, 2 losses and a win. They played a lot of friendlies. They played 4 friendlies in the World Cup period. It's their first Premier League game back. And the table, it's 9th v 11th. It's the same amount of points, just got 1 goal difference separating them. Going into head-to-heads, they've played 14 times. It's swayed to Fulham as they win 6 times. To Crystal Palace's 4, and they've drawn 4 times. In the last 5, though, Palace have won 3 times. There's been 1 draw and a win for Fulham. The last time they played was the 2020-21 game, and it was 0-0 in one of the games, and a 2-1 Palace win. For me, I'm going to go for a Desmond 2-all draw. It's going to be a great game. Very excited for this one. I think Palace will have enough quality to at least get a point in this game, and yeah, it will look really good. A point for each team. And the next game is Everton versus Wolves. It's 17th v 20th. 2 teams who are looking really poor this season. Wolves bottom of the table with 10 points. Everton 17th with 14. Both teams are looking awful. Wolves have only won twice this season. Everton have only won 3 times this season. So both teams are looking really poor in the form table. Wolves have actually looked decent, to be fair. 3 wins, a draw and a loss. Some of them have been friendlies, and same with Everton. 2 wins and 3 losses, but some of them have been friendlies. Of course, the 17th v 20th, the head-to-head, they have played 15 times. It's 5, 5 and 5, so it's been really even. In the last 5 games, it's been 2 wins for Everton, 3 wins for Wolves. Last season, Wolves won both games, 1-0 and 2-1. For me, Wolves have looked poor. They did just come off a 2-0 win over Gillingham. They're in the next round of the EFL Cup. For me, I can just see it being... I want to say Wolves to win, so I'm going to go for 2-1 Wolves. I just believe they have enough quality. Wolves have not been brilliant this season by any stretch of the imagination, but I can just see them getting a big result here, big win. A huge win for Wolves, and that'll push them up the table. I think that'll push them to around maybe even 19th or 18th. So yeah, a huge win for Wolves. Moving on to the next game, which is Leicester City versus Newcastle United. Both teams who both qualified for the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. So that's interesting. Newcastle, absolutely world-class start to this season. They've been the underdogs by far. Third in the table. 30 points to their name in 15 games. That's unbelievable. That's a point a game. That's averaging 2 points per game. So that's absolutely huge. Newcastle looked really good. In 30 points already this season. In third. They're close to Man City. How many points off City? They're 2 points off City. I know City have a game in hand, but they're 2 points off City. Newcastle looking good in the form table. Leicester 4 wins and 1 draw. Newcastle 5 wins. They won all their friendlies. It's been that's wrong. Was that a draw? Yeah, it was. Oh no, it's from pens. They won on pens. So. Yeah, 5 wins. They've been fantastic, Newcastle. Honestly, have been fantastic, and they're a real threat for the top 4. They could be taking like a Chelsea or United or Tottenham out of the top 4. Like, how crazy is that? Newcastle, they haven't even spent like a lot of money as well. Moving on to Leicester though. Leicester have looked really good. They've stuck with Brendan Rodgers. That's the right decision. It's 3rd v 13th. Brilliant. They've played 26 times. 12 wins for Leicester, 10 wins for Newcastle, and 4 draws. In the last 5, it's been 3 wins for Leicester, 2 wins for Newcastle. Last season, it was a 2-1 Newcastle and a 4-0 Leicester. And that was at Leicester when they were at home. So for me, I'm going to go for an absolute corker. 3-2 Newcastle. Newcastle again will pick up huge 3 points. Huge 3 points. They could actually get top 4. How crazy is that? Champions League football could be going to St James's Park. But wow, yeah, Newcastle looking really good. Moving on to the next game, which is Southampton versus Brighton. It's a huge game. It's a derby, I think, as well. It's the coastal derby. It's a big game. It's a huge game. Southampton 3 losses, 2 wins in the last 5. Brighton though, 2 losses, 2 draws and 2 wins. No, 2 losses, a draw and 2 wins even. They got knocked out of the cup. Southampton stay in the cup. I don't know how Brighton lost to Charlton, but it is what it is. But Brighton, on the other hand, sitting 7th in the table. Southampton 19th. Southampton doing poor at the start of the season so far. 15 games in, 12 points. Not great for Southampton. They need to try and pick up a win here. Could they against Brighton? Possibly. Going into head-to-head, they played 21 times. It's gone pretty much all to Southampton. 10 wins for Southampton, 8 draws, 3 wins for Brighton. In the last 5, it's been 1 win to each team and then 3 draws. Last season, 2-2, 1-1. Going into this season, I just see Brighton getting a win here. 2-0. They will pick up the points. It's simple as that. They're the better side by far. And I could just see them getting the 3 points, and that could maybe pushing them up to like 6th or 5th. So brilliant start to the season for Brighton. Moving on to the 5:30 kickoff game, as is Aston Villa take on Liverpool. 2 teams who are doing all right. It's 6th v 12th. Liverpool 22 points to Villa's 18. So if Villa do win, they could go right near Villa. Right near Liverpool even. Yeah, Liverpool have had a bit of a weird season. They haven't been at their best, of course. They've been knocked out of the cup to Man City with a corker. I actually predicted that. Check out my EFL Carabao Cup round of 16 predictions. I predicted Southampton right, City, Liverpool right, maybe a few others. I don't know. I didn't really, look at the predictions. But yeah, I actually predicted 3-2 City, and it was a 3-2 City. Kevin De Bruyne masterclass. We'll get onto that when we get to City. But Liverpool, yeah, they've looked all right. Darwin Núñez missed a few sitters yesterday, but he's still doing decent. He did all right for Uruguay. Salah got a goal yesterday, so that's good for his confidence. 6 v 12. Liverpool have been on iffy form. 3 wins, 2 losses. For Villa, 2 losses, 2 wins, and a draw. They beat Chelsea in a friendly. Going into the head-to-heads, Liverpool surely edged this one. Yeah, they've played 36 plus 8, 44 times, and 26 wins to Liverpool, 8 for Villa, 10 draws. In the last time, it's been 4 wins for Liverpool and 1 win for Villa. That 1 win was a 7-2 all the way 2 years ago. For me, Liverpool surely should win this. Villa have been on all right form. Well, they sit 12th, don't they? So, for me, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool. Even under Unai Emery's charge, Villa could actually do an upset here and get a win, but I just see Liverpool have enough quality in the tank to get the job done. Moving on to the 8 o'clock game, Arsenal versus West Ham. It's a big game. Arsenal top of the table, West Ham 16th. Arsenal, could they actually win the league? Possibly. I'm actually thinking they can. They've lost Gabriel Jesus, which is one of the biggest losses you'll ever get. Losing Gabriel Jesus is a big loss. You know, he was fantastic, especially at the start of the season. I thought he dropped off a little bit coming to the end, but you know, he's that pivotal for Arsenal. Top of the table now. I think they're like 4 or 5 points clear of City. 5 points clear of City. Like, wow. Arsenal could actually win the league. Looking at the form, 3 wins, 2 losses for Arsenal, 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw for West Ham. A lot of friendlies for sure. But for me, Arsenal just have enough quality. Looking at the head-to-heads, it's Arsenal 28 wins to West Ham 6, 8 draws. In the last 5, it's been a 4 wins for Arsenal and a draw. For me, it's going to be a 2-0 2-0 Arsenal even. I just see Arsenal have enough quality. They're a better side than West Ham, and they'll keep progressing as a team. And Arteta's got everything correct so far this season. So well done to Arsenal, another win under the belt. Moving on to the Tuesday games, which is Chelsea versus Bournemouth. It's 8th v 14th. Chelsea have been on horrific form under Graham Potter. That's 4 losses in a row. Was it correct sacking Thomas Tuchel? I know it was a long time ago, but was it correct? No, it definitely was not correct. Really poor decision there from the owner. For Bournemouth, it's been on okay form. 2 wins, 3 losses. 14th at the moment. They're 5 points off Chelsea, so it's that tight there. 8th and 14th is only separated by 5 points. It's like the Championship. Chelsea head-to-heads, they have just beaten Bournemouth 8 wins, so Bournemouth is 4, 1 draw. In the last 5, it's been 2, 2, and then a draw. So even in the club friendly, Chelsea did win 2-1 in 2021, but in the 19-20 season, 2-2 and 1-0 Bournemouth. So Bournemouth have looked decent under Chelsea. For me, I'm going to say Chelsea get back to winning ways. Maybe a little bit too, optimistic there. 3-1 Chelsea. I think they'll look good. They'll get the job over. 5:30 kickoff. It's going to be a very good game. Hopefully we get a corker. Moving on to the 8 PM game, which is Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. Both teams do qualify for the EFL Cup quarter-finals. It's 5th, the 18th. Nottingham Forest just in the relegation zone, but they have picked up some big wins like Liverpool and some other teams as well. 3 wins to their name this season. Hasn't been a great start, but I think they can definitely improve on it. They brought a lot of players, so when they gel, it could be good for Nottingham Forest. But United under Ten Hag have looked really good, reminding me of some brilliant times. Ronaldo's now gone, so they don't need to worry about him at all. They can really focus on the league as well. I think they've got Barcelona in the Europa League, that's a huge game. For me, looking at the head-to-heads, they haven't played. They've never played. In head-to-head, this is their first time United and Forest playing, apparently. Huge, that is. For me, 3-1 United. That's wow. That's wow. 3-1 United. I think United will get the win. That's the first time ever playing each other. Is today, Tuesday. So yeah, what fact that is? I didn't even know that. United will get the 3 points and really push themselves to closer and closer to the Champions League spots. Moving on to the last game, which is Leeds United versus Manchester City. Man City, well done to qualify for the next round of the Carabao Cup. They did well there. 4 wins, 1 loss in the last 5. A lot of actually one friendly, and they did win it 2-0. Their 1 loss was against Brentford on the last game before the World Cup. Leeds United, 2 wins, 3 losses. Their last game was a 4-3 loss to Tottenham in the Cup. In the Premier League, but from then they've won 2 of their friendlies and lost 1. So haven't been on bad form. Leeds, it's 2nd v 15th. Man City need to pick up points here. 5 points off Arsenal now, so they need to win every game now. Man City, actually it's mad to think that in the head-to-heads, 4 wins for Leeds, 5 wins for City and 2 draws. It's magnificent. 3 wins in the last 5 for City, 1 draw and 1 win for Leeds. Last season it was a 4-0 for City and a 7-0, so that's averaging, that's averaging around 5.5 goals a game against Leeds last season. So yeah, well done to City. For me, I'm going to go for a 3-1 City. A massive, massive win for them. Yeah, that does wrap up the video. As you can see, 3-1 City. Wow, what Premier League is going to be this week. The Boxing Day predictions is going to be massive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.